Hi, I'm Dr Naomi Norman. I'm an education researcher, consultant and author. I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of Pearson's exciting digital platform, ActiveHub. ActiveHub is a powerful data-led solution to help boost student progress. Using interconnected assessments, data-driven insights and resources, ActiveHub helps trusts, school leaders, teachers and learners get a better view of their progression needs. ActiveHub is split into 3 key areas: resources and tasks, assessments and insights. And today I'm going to focus on the powerful insights available within ActiveHub. So let's get started, shall we? By bringing together data from assessments, interventions and homework, ActiveHub provides valuable insights about your learners that can help you easily identify gaps and provide next step solutions. Let's explore the Insights dashboard. If I look at the 2023-24 academic year, you can see all the insights I have across the different subjects. Let's take a look at higher maths. You can see that 19 of my students sat a paper on the 10th of January, and it was the GCSE June 2023 higher paper. Let's explore the insights from this paper. You can see here the grade distribution for the students. Because I have already input the baselines and targets for each student, I can now see who is below where they need to be in terms of their target. I can then look at the questions level analysis and I can see all the questions from the assessment. I can click on the drop-down next to each question to see what information was covered, and I can see how the group performed for each of these questions. I can sort by the performance, so if I look at the worst performing question, it was question 10B. I can see here that it was a probability question, so a topic I may then plan to work on more with my students. What is really interesting is that ActiveHub also allows for comparison to the national average. It holds all the data from when this question was set as a national examination question, allowing me to compare how this group is performing against the national average, which can be extremely helpful information. So from this data, I can see that although this is the worst performing question by raw mark, it's actually an area where this group is performing better than the national average. I can also look at the topic analysis, which summarises question level analysis into different topics. Here, if I look at the performance against the national average, I can see that percentages and inequalities are the 2 areas that my students are performing worst in against the national average. So these would probably be 2 topics I'd plan to focus more on with my students. I can also look at analysis by skills. So for subjects like English and history, this is a feature that is slightly more relevant versus a subject like maths. And then once I've looked at this data, digested it and analysed it, what should I do next? Well, ActiveHub can also help me decide on next steps. This is where, as a teacher, I can drill down into each area and see which students performed well, who found the task challenging, and who needs intervention. Let's take a look at inequalities, which was one of the topics identified as a poor performing area. I can see here that I have 5 students who found this challenging, scoring below 35%. So what I can do now is instantly assign these students a practice task that will help them better understand this concept and build their confidence in this area. This is now creating a bespoke task for these students. Here you can see the task name, Inequalities, and the 5 students who need to complete this. I have a default start and due date which I can change, and when I click Assign, it will send out notifications to these students. So I've looked at the insights from a particular maths paper, but I can also see how individual students are performing over time. So let's take a look at Anushka. Along the top you can see she's in a number of different classes. This is her chemistry class, her geography class, her English language class, and so on. In English language, you can see it's turned red and is flagging that she's below track. Let's dig a little deeper here and see what's happening. If I look at the full course length, you can see how she's performed all the way back to September 2022, which is when Anushka started this course. The green marks are the individual assessment points, and then the dotted line is her target progression path, so taking her from grade 5 to grade 7. To understand what's happening here, I can bring in some data from the group itself if I click here. I can now actually see that everyone somewhat struggled with this last assessment. So it may simply be that the group struggled as a whole with that assessment, or that it was a slightly hard concept that they were learning. Regardless, I can see here that Anushka is actually still on track, but she's probably a student I'll need to monitor because she's just dipped below where she needs to be to meet her target grade. And that concludes my walkthrough of the insights within ActiveHub. If you'd like to find out more about ActiveHub and how it could work for you and your school, the Pearson team are more than happy to help. Simply get in touch with them via the link.